and welcome to Salesforce's Release Readiness Live for Spring 17. Thanks for joining us, whether you found us in the beginning of your day, the end of it, or anything in between. I'm Mike Torres, and it's great to be here as we take a look into some of the greatest features and developments that Salesforce's Service Cloud has to offer. Now, as a final point before we get into the presentations, we are going to be looking at some of our roadmap items today. So to properly set our expectations there, let's review Salesforce's forward-looking statement slide. Now, if there's anybody who's unfamiliar with this slide, it urges Salesforce customers to remember that Salesforce is a publicly traded company and that any and all purchasing decisions should be made on currently available functionality only.
All right, terrific. Thank you, Mike. So wanted to talk a little bit about snap-ins. So Purvi showed you the end user experience, and traditionally we haven't given our customers a lot in terms of actually having a very modern UI for a chat experience when it comes to the customer side of things. So for us, snap-ins for web was really that product where we actually brought Live Agent to a widget that docks on the bottom right side of the table, the window, and not only is it kind of persists across different pages, but it's also mobile responsive and very easy to set up. So the big focus for us when it comes to snap-ins is making sure that it supports any web page or application. So this widget that you see doesn't have to go onto a force.com site or a community site. It actually works on any web page, whether you're using AWS, for example. Right? So that's a big focus for us, making sure that it's mobile ready, that it's responsive across all the different screen sizes. We wanted to make this setup really easy for admins to do, so it only takes clicks and it doesn't take coding to actually set up the window, and that's a really big focus for us. And going forward, what we really want to do is actually provide some contextual intelligence for this component. Next slide. Okay, so let me dive into my demo real quick. And as I mentioned, Purvi had already demoed the Live Agent customer experience piece. But what I wanted to show you was the setup experience. So when you go into Snap-in setup, what you see here is you see a list of Snap-in deployments. And this deployment here, we've done suit supply deployment for release readiness. And for here, you can actually create your own new deployments. You have to give it a name, it'll have an API name, and also an endpoint. This could be a site.com site, or it could be a community web page. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look a little bit deeper into this view into this deployment right here. So this is a 4-step process in setting up snap-ins. And this is really how easy it is. The first is that you actually have to give us the Live Agent basic settings. So what you do is you pick from the Live Agent deployments. And secondly, you actually pick the agent button that you want to use. So this is all super easy declarative, just point and click. And it really takes a lot of the error out of setting up snap-ins. The second thing I want to show you is the branding. So for example, within this chat window, you'll see that this is a branding that I set up initially. But what you can do here is you can go into this branding setup, and here you can customize the look and feel of your chat widget. So let's just take, for example, the nav bar. The nav bar right now is black, but I'm going to go ahead and change it to be red. And I think somewhere Supply is probably cringing. But I'm going to click Finish here. And what happens is the next time a user clicks on this widget, you'll see that the header bar there has turned red. So that's how easy it is to actually change the branding of this widget to really suit your brand colors. Next, I'm going to show you the pre-chat page. Here, what you can do with pre-chat is you can actually specify what type of scenario are you really trying to do with this pre-chat, right? So it could be for sales, and what happens is then we actually associate the chats with leads. Or for service, what we actually do, we can associate the chats with contacts and cases, or maybe just a very basic scenario, we can actually associate the incoming chat with just a contact. And here, what you can do is you can actually select the record type that is going to be used for creating a contact and also creating a case. So in the past, you'd had to do all this Apex scripting to get this done correctly. This is all now declarative point and click. So really huge step forward for our customers. And then the last piece, what I want to show you is, let me actually talk about this real quick as well. So the pre-chat form that I showed you, before you had to actually code up those different fields yourself within Visualforce. But what we've done here is we've actually allowed you to declaratively put in any field that you want. So for example, I'm going to just put in an extra phone field. add this. And from here, you can actually modify this to actually move it up and down so you can change the appearance of the pre-chat form. So that's a really huge plus for our customers as well. At the end of those 3 steps, what you do is you actually just go get the code. So from here, this is a chat code snippet. All you need to do is you actually have to just copy and paste this onto your existing web pages, and then the snap-ins, the live agent component will actually show up on the web page itself. So super easy to do. Even I've been able to do it. I'm not super technical, but I think that this is something that our customers have been asking for a very long time, because we've only given you Visualforce pages that you have to customize. There's nothing declarative and point and click. And I'm sure Purvi can testify that a lot of the customers have actually been really excited about this.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Michael has snap-ins now, because we can continue to innovate on the live agent experience, but he would take over the customer experience, and it's really easy branding, easy declaration, easy setup. So there's actually no downside that I see.
Yes. So why don't we go back to slides real quick? And what I wanted to talk a little bit about is just the overall Snap-ins portfolio. So this has actually been close to a 3-year journey for me. We started Snap-ins for mobile, bringing knowledge cases, live agent, and we had an SOS product that we built even before that, and really bringing that to mobile applications using an SDK. Over the last year or so, we've actually been focusing on bringing this functionality to the web as well. So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see continued investment from us to actually really make sure that for your websites and for your mobile applications, you have a best-in-class experience for your end users. And I think that that's something that I'm very excited about. I think that for the most part, the console side of things and agent and omnichannel, those things are very important, especially for most of your users. But if you think about your customers, we want to make sure that you have an experience that you guys are proud of, that really matches the fit and finish that you put into your website or your mobile application. So these are the 4 channels that we're focusing on right now. And what I'm really proud to announce is, as of Spring 17, all of these capabilities within iOS, Android, and now the web, just live agent on the web, they're all GA. So I think that we've come on multiple times onto this release Readiness, and there's been a lot of questions on what's GA, what's beta, what's pilot. They've all gone GA as of the spring. So this has been a multi-year effort for us. We're really excited to actually declare all this stuff GA and get this out there. We have a lot of customers actually already getting themselves set up and embedding our Service Cloud into their mobile apps and into their web pages. So something very super exciting for us.
Okay. So we've just covered a good amount in terms of the Snap-ins product. Our customers are probably very excited about some of the leaps forward that we've taken.
Definitely some excitement out there from Steven. He's saying, OMG at this Snap-ins demo. So good job there. Generated a lot of interest and quite a few questions, actually. So I'll take the top ones here. So James actually had 2 questions. He was wondering, do Snap-ins allow me to create a case?
They do.
As well? Okay.
Yeah, so in the setup that I showed you in an incoming chat, you can tell it to create a contact and also a case. So that's default functionality.
Great. Now, another question regarding localization. Can you translate into different languages?
So I think that you can with some workarounds today, but we're actually making that better as part of the summer release. So stay tuned for that. But I think that for this first release, I would say that there's probably some workarounds, but it's not the easiest thing to do, unfortunately.
Okay. So Sharath was asking, can there be different snap-ins for different sites? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can actually put different snap-ins on different sites. The very first page that I showed, where you had the different snap-in deployments, you can define as many of them as you want and place the code snippet on any page that you want.
So there's no limit to how many you can
No limits. Off the top of my head, I don't know how much we tested with, but maybe that's something I can answer offline. Yeah.
You can do a bunch.